Good morning, everyone. It is Friday the 8th, and this is the start of a weekend where I have complete freedom from kids, responsibilities, everything. So I am having a ladies' weekend this weekend with my mom. We're going to a quilt retreat. So I just dropped off my daughter at school, went and got myself road caffeine, and I'm going to drive up to the condo where I live. For those of you who've been with me for a while, I lived there for a year before we bought our house, and my mom will be coming in tonight, and then we're going to be sewing on Saturday and Sunday. But I feel like I'm going to get a lot of reading done because while I'm sewing, I can listen to audiobooks if I'm not in the mood to chat. And today I have absolutely nothing on the plan. Like basically just driving up this morning and then sitting around doing nothing until my parents come in the evening. So that's kind of ideal. I can read, I can take a nap, I can do whatever I want. I am so excited for this weekend. It's been 6 months since I've had like a day away from kids and responsibilities, and so I am ready for some time off. Right now that I have my caffeine, I'm gonna start driving. I have about 2.5 hour drive, and so I was listening to the soundtrack for The Greatest Showman, so I'm gonna finish that, and then I will probably put on Becoming by Michelle Obama or Pet Sematary by Stephen King. Those are two of the audiobooks I have. I have a ton of audiobooks downloaded because I knew I'd be doing this weekend, but those are two that I'm like halfway through, and just whether I'm in the mood to have nonfiction or fiction, we'll see how it is when I'm done with my music, and I will update you guys later. I've arrived at the condo, but turns out my parents are already here, so I probably won't have time to vlog this afternoon hanging out with them. But I wanted to let you know that I finished Pet Sematary on the ride. I was already like, I guess 75% of the way through, so just finished the audiobook. And I'm not sure exactly how I feel about it. I haven't loved the King that I've read the last few years, and I picked this one up because it's such a popular one of his books, and I wanted to give him the best chance before I say I'm not a King fan. And I did really enjoy the book, but I think I expected more from the climax. I felt like it just everything kind of ended abruptly. But I have heard that endings are not Stephen King's strong point. I just guess I expected more in the very climactic moment. But other than that, like I really enjoyed the like build up throughout the novel and everything like that. I'll have to get my thoughts together before I do my actual review. Hello, so it is evening. I'm about to get ready for bed, but I thought I would give you an update. Like I said, I couldn't really vlog today because I was hanging out with my parents. We had kind of a chill afternoon. I ended up taking a nap, which was lovely, and reading a little bit and listening to an audiobook and stuff like that. But then we had some friends over for dinner, so just little bits here and there. I got to work a little bit, so it was just a nice relaxing evening. So what I've been reading is for nonfiction November, I'm reading A Stolen Life by J.C. Duggard, and I am about, I don't know, not quite halfway. This is taking me a long time to read. If you don't know, this is about a woman who was held captive for 18 years of her life. And even though this is like a really like easy read in terms of like writing style, I have to put it down quite frequently. So it's taking me a long time to read this. I just read maybe 1 or 2 chapters at a time, mostly because the things that have happened to this, like she was 11 when she was taken, like the things that have happened to her are just horrifying that I just personally can't take it for very long at a time. So yeah, it's gonna be a slow take on that one. And then in terms of audiobook, I actually started after Pet Sematary. I wanted something a little more happy because between Pet Sematary being horror and about grief and this book, I needed something just happy. So I found that my library had the audiobook for Well Met, which if you watch my recent reads, I just read it like 3 weeks ago or something, but I really loved it, and I had read it really quickly. Like the physical copy, I think I read it in like 2 days, and so I was like, it'd be nice to revisit it. Sometimes when I read something really fast, it kind of disappears from my mind pretty quickly, so I kind of wanted to cement the characters and the plot in my head. And I know I'm gonna like it, so I thought I'll just listen to it as a fluff read. So I was listening to it some tonight while I did some ironing, because since I'm quilting tomorrow, I want to prepare some of that stuff for that. And so then the only thing I'm gonna do now is get ready for bed, read a little bit, and go to bed, because I think I have to wake up at like 7 a.m. to get ready to go. Hey, so it's about 5 o'clock on Saturday. I don't think I've updated you at all today. It was just, we got up early to get ready for the retreat, got everything packed up. We had to make like egg casserole, do all that stuff. So things just kind of went by very fast. And then I was sewing and just sewing all day. I am going to put in some like little clips of the stuff I'm working on. I'm working on a Christmas quilt, so you'll see like kind of Christmassy colors. Yeah, so I've just been sewing all day, but I have listened, I've been chatting for like the first half of the day, but then towards the mid-afternoon, I was like, I just want to like listen to my book. So I was listening a little more to Well Met, but then I decided to take a break from that and listen to Becoming by Michelle Obama. And I am really enjoying it at this point of the book. I wasn't loving the first part, and I think mostly just I don't really care so much about childhoods and memoirs. Like a memoir like this, where a lot of the main stuff is happening in the adult life. I just didn't really care as much about her childhood. And then now that like her and Barack are married, and their life with their kids and politics and her jobs, it's a lot more interesting for me. Maybe because she's at the point, like I think at the point in the book she's like close to my age, or like a little bit younger than I am now. And so it just is a lot more interesting to me what she's doing in her life. So I was enjoying that. And since it's 5, it's going to get dark soon. I thought I should just come out and go for a walk, because my neck is hurting. Anybody that sews, that like when you sit and sew all day long, you're like looking down, your neck gets really sore. So like I'm like need to stretch out, go for a little walk. I had said I would update you Saturday night, but I didn't. It was really late. It was like 9 something when we got home. I had to work. I don't know if I've told you guys, I think I said in one other vlog that I do editing for an audiobook narrator. So she sends me chapters and I edit out any mistakes and any mouth noises and stuff like that. So I was doing that, and it took me like an hour and a half to finish the chapter I was working on. So it was late. And then to wind down, I just listened to a little bit of Well Met. I am really enjoying the reread. I don't usually reread a book so close to, like, it's only been a few weeks, but I'm enjoying it because by having read the physical book first and now the audiobook, it just really is cementing the like plot and the characters in my head. And I feel like I'll be able to remember them for longer, which is great because it's one of my new favorites. So it's kind of nice to do that. So I might start doing that more often, that if a book becomes a new favorite, I read it in more than one format back to back so that I can kind of just keep it in my head because I forget things so often. So I'm really enjoying this experience. I only have about 2 hours left of the audiobook. I just had to go to bed last night, and this morning it's 11:30 and I am taking a break because I have been sewing since like 8:40 this morning. So just kind of got in, started right away sewing because I just really want to finish this quilt that I had started. I had I'm so close. I'm just putting together the rows, and we'll have the whole top done hopefully by the end of this retreat. We're gonna really hope so, because I just want to finish something. Hey, so it is Sunday late afternoon and I'm on my way home. I was gonna show you what I'd finished on the quilt, but we were towards the end of the retreat, and then suddenly like everybody was packed up and leaving, and so I had to kind of pack everything up, so I didn't get to really like show you where I kind of ended up. But I did quite a lot on a quilt that I'm making for kind of Christmas, so I'm feeling good, got a lot done, just had a relaxing time. I am listening to a science fiction book called Starflight by Melissa Landers, I believe is who it is. And I've owned this book for a couple years. I had gotten it towards the beginning of the time I was watching BookTube because people were talking about it. And this was before I really knew like who I wanted to watch on BookTube, like as in like who had similar styles to me. And now, you know, that's been a few years, I kind of have it narrowed down to like when I listen to recommendations, I know like these people match my taste and stuff like that. But back then I was just kind of buying what people were talking the most about, even if it wasn't something I knew was my style. And I figured I'll just try listening to it because it's like a young adult kind of romance heavy sci-fi. I'll listen to it as a fluff thing, and like it's fine. I'm probably almost halfway through. It's all right. It hasn't gotten like romantic yet, but it is a lot of like teen like drama, like kind of like I think it's gonna be hate to love, and right now they're really in like the hate aspect of the relationship, so bickering a lot. And yeah, so there's some fun stuff happening on the spaceship and stuff like that, so I'm enjoying it enough that I'm not gonna like stop listening to it. But I'm glad I'm listening to it instead of reading it, because I probably would more easily put the book down if I wasn't just listening to it. So that'll keep me entertained for a couple hours on the drive. Hey guys, so it is Monday morning and I realized I just need to like wrap this vlog up so that I can put it together. I just wanted to kind of summarize how this weekend went. I had a great weekend. I'm really glad I had a weekend away and got to just do whatever I wanted. It did go by really fast, but I got basically a whole quilt top done. It's gonna be like a throw size, like you would sit on a couch, like that kind of size. So not like a bed size quilt, but I'm excited for it. Hopefully I can get it finished before Christmas, since it's supposed to be Christmas fabric. And I got a lot done at work, and then I did do quite a bit of reading. The only book I finished was Pet Sematary. I listened to that on the way, and I really did enjoy Pet Sematary. I really liked the storytelling. I liked the characters. I just was a little disappointed in the climax. Thought it just went by way too fast. But other than that, really enjoyed it, and I'm excited to try more King. Before that, I hadn't really liked the Stephen King books I had read, but I think I was just reading the wrong ones. And he's got so many, I figure I had to give him another chance. So now I have The Stand on audiobook. It's like a 50-hour audiobook. But I thought I would little by little throughout the month work on that one and try to read that one, because I really like dystopians, so I figured that's a good one to do next. And then I also listened to a good chunk of Starflight. Like I said, I own the book, but I wouldn't say this is going to be a new favorite or anything. I think the way it's going now, I'm almost halfway, it's probably going to be a 3-star read. You probably hear the cats are playing with some packaging, so probably loud in the background. So this will probably end up being a 3-star read, but it's been a fun audiobook so far, so I'll finish it out as an audiobook because I just don't really feel inspired to pick this physical copy up. I did get quite a lot read in Becoming of the audiobook. I think I'm, like around 65-70% of the way through this. I'm enjoying this, but I'm just taking my time listening to it. But I'm glad I have the physical book from the library, because I want to look at the pictures, because, you know, there's always like a picture section in the middle. So I'm excited to look at that. I did read a few chapters in A Stolen Life. I'm now at the halfway point. This is just taking me a long time, like I said, because every time she's being like sexually abused or whatever, I can't handle that, so I end up putting it down and giving myself a break and then coming back. And I'm like, every time I think I should just give up and not read this because it's hard, I go back to her beginning. I didn't tell you this, but she did this like opening where she talks about why she wrote this book and about how, you know, her abuser doesn't want this information getting out there. And by making this book, she's showing that she's not ashamed for the things he did, like that she as the victim shouldn't feel shame and shouldn't feel like things need to be kept secret, because her story needs to be told and he needs to be held accountable for the things that he did. So I feel like I want to read this because, you know, for that reason, that like victims need to be heard. So I keep going. I'm just going very slowly on that. And then the one I never even mentioned that I was reading, Call It What You Want by Bridget Kimmerer. I didn't take this book with me. I had an ebook version, so that's probably why I didn't mention it, because I had this from the library, but I had the ebook too, so I figured why take another physical book? Who knows my reasoning? But yes, I actually am about halfway through with this on the ebook. This is just a contemporary. Of the 3 contemporaries I've read from her, so far this is lining up to be my least favorite. It's just not captivating me in the characters as much as the other 2, or the plot line. And it's just hard to read because both of these people are being it's from 2 different perspectives, a boy and a girl in high school, and both of them have done things, or their family has done things in the past that have ostracized them, and so they're both just leading a very lonely life without many friends, and just, you know, people bullying them at school. And yeah, so it is a hard read, but it also isn't really captivating me at the same time. So I'm hoping that as it goes, it'll draw me in a little more. And yeah, those are, oh, and then I read some more of Well Met. So I'm only have like a half hour left, actually. I just got tired last night and didn't want to like end it on a tired note, so I'll finish that today probably. So I got quite a bit of reading, mostly listening, done this weekend while sewing. So I count that as a win. I've had a really good weekend. I hope you had a good weekend, and I will talk to you next time.